I know the goal here from CMS is to, well, I guess we can argue what the goal is, right? I think the stated goal is to make cut points more predictable by removing outliers. That should be a good thing, right? Like that's all good. We want the cut points to be more predictable. We don't want them to be volatile. We want to be able to better forecast our future performance. That's not always the way it plays out because in their scenario modeling, in the scenario modeling that I've seen Paul you conduct, I mean, it has a more significant impact on those lower stars, which makes it harder to hit stars, right? So it lowers the performance of the industry more than it helps. It might help a couple of plans because it does have some impact on the upper end, but why is there more impact on the lower end?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. One, I wanted to take a stab at thinking through what the interest of CMS might be here as well, right? Because obviously making cut points more predictable helps plans do their planning for what they need to invest in, and that's really important because it stabilizes kind of the strategy set that you want to apply. But it also it allows stars to, or allows CMS to get the results it wants more consistently, right? So when they set policy using numbers, the more consistent that those numbers are, the more they can predict what the theoretical outcome will be for plan behavior. When you think about why it affects certain plans more dramatically, you had an interesting comment earlier, which was it lowers the industry. And I think the theory is that if we remove the outliers, you actually get a better picture of the industry as it stands today. And so the trick with outliers are that they actually have no impact on the industry. What they are is they're reshaping the way we're assessing the industry. So somebody who is a 3-star looks really good because maybe they're a low 3-star, almost against that cut point. They look really good relative to the 2-stars because that one outlier is pulling all of those cut points down. But then as soon as we remove the outlier and say, actually, this is a better picture of the industry, now you have a more real sense of where you place within it. And the reason why it affects lower outliers, I think, is because plans all try to manage to have higher performance. So if you look at the distribution of scores for any given measure, let's just take one that's ranked between 0 and 100, for example, right? You would see most of the bulk skewed somewhere between maybe 70 and 100 because plans are actively trying to push that measure value up, assuming it's not inverted, right? So the amount of outliers that you can have on that upper level where we're saying, okay, 100 is the top and everybody's pushing for it, there's probably going to be a fewer outliers up there because that's where everybody's trying to push to. So when you do this Tukey calculation, the upper fence is somewhere way past 100. So you're unlikely to delete a top outlier.